Oh, I hear Aiden saying, who apparently teleported right next to me. Are you that eager to test your newly acquired magic on a Stillwater berry? In that case, I'll try my best to live up to your expectation. I immediately use my air currents to propel myself backward so that I can give myself a little room to maneuver, and then I begin with a very simple lightning spell to test my enemy's defensive. Ah, the classic lightning spell starter tactic, Aiden says. I heard that it's pretty popular to begin mage duels like this in the western continent. So did you find any weakness in my protection spell? He's clearly baiting me at the moment. The lightning spell I used just now showed me a glaring weakness as passive protection that even a beginner could detect. However, I very much doubt that he would bother setting up a trap against my level 1 magic stats, so I play with his game for now. Conjure 3 icicles that are likely 100 times weaker than I think Kate has ever created. I send them towards Aiden from 3 different directions, separate directions at the same time. This exploits the weakness in his barrier that he created on purpose. It allows one of my projectiles to stab him in the right shoulder, giving him a very light wound. Impressive, Aiden says in a mocking tone, as he immediately heals the wound with his left hand. Not many people can say that they made a Stillwater bleed. Wasn't it worth it to become a mage just for this moment? Oh yeah, I say it in a deadpan voice. I'm shivering from all the excitement. What happened to your combat style, Hadrick? I hear Darren say during from somewhere below us in the meantime. You're fighting so much better this morning. Did you get drunk again? Shut up, Hadrick says. It's easier against you because I already know all of your moves. But now that you mention it, maybe there is something that I might want to try out while I'm still sober. Right after he says this, I suddenly see 2 eagle wings sprouting from his back, similar to how Gontok used to partially shapeshift when he fought him in Olander. Then with the single powerful flap of his wings, he blasts in the air and reaches Aiden in a matter of seconds, sending him flying backward several feet with a strong punch. Ha, Hadrick says as he's flapping his wings to maintain his attitude. I have a feeling that this type of shape-shifting would work better while I'm not drunk. It almost makes me want to sober more often to try it out, almost. He then proceeds to attack Aiden once more, forcing him to temporarily switch targets to the dwarf for the time being, as 2 of them are now flying all over the place, trading blows one after the other. It's good that Hardrick is keeping Aiden busy, but I should probably start thinking of a way to go on the offensive myself, unless I want to let Aiden control the entire flow of the battle. Tell Aiden that there was a drunken flying orangutan wearing a party hat behind him. That is so funny. Again with my dagger that's killing. Tell Aiden to cast a dishwashing spell on Aiden. Yeah, that would probably be the best one. The first one is stupid, and the second one is kind of just gonna kill him. Luna, can you cast your dishwashing spell on Aiden, please? I say. I'm not sure if now would be the best time. Luna says apprehensively. No, it's the perfect time. Trust me, I say. Do it now. Fine, Luna says, but don't blame me if this fails spectacularly. She then casts a spell, causing Aiden's head to get surrounded by a sphere of water while still fighting Hardrick. This catches him by a surprise a little, but it doesn't look like he's drowning just yet. Instead, he's now teleporting around really fast, attempting to make Luna lose focus of her spell. Eventually, he achieves his purpose, but Luna is no longer able to keep up with his movements, and she's forced to cancel his spell. A mere few seconds later, Aiden teleports right next to me. He looks pretty pissed off. I'm going to be honest with you, Barry. Aiden says, that little dishwashing spell annoyed me a little. I fire a lightning spell towards Aiden without thinking, and he immediately disappeared. And I immediately turn around and start to shoot flames out of my hands at the empty air behind me, thinking that Aiden was trying to hide invisibly again in the same way that he did against Darren, but it doesn't seem like I'm hitting anything. Just as I thought I was safe, I can feel Aiden's invisible hand grabbing my head from above, exploding it in 1,000 pieces, killing me in an instant. Okay, loading again. This is probably going to end with my death, but let's check it out. Does it? No, it doesn't look like it. Hadrick, stand back. I say, I've got this. Well, if you say so, Hadrick says as he now flies away to give us some space. I hope you like what you're doing. I like your confidence, Barry. Aiden says. Shall I take it that you finally came up with a plan? Oh yeah, I say, watch this. I then remove my dagger from my sheath and point it at him menacingly. You got to be kidding me, Aiden says. He stares at me in disbelief. Did I ever tell you how I faced Arakana's strongest form while I was armed with only a dagger? Yet I still came out on top, I ask him. You don't seem to be lying, Aiden says, but something tells me that there are some very crucial details from the story that you're omitting on purpose. Believe what you want, I tell him. Here I come. I then begin to fly towards Aiden, slashing my dagger at him while he dodges every single one of my attacks effortlessly, with a very puzzled expression on his face as I keep attacking him without hitting a single time. I gradually start to think that maybe this wasn't a good an idea as I originally thought. What's the matter, Barry? Aiden tells me as I have put a little distance between me and him to catch my breath. Getting tired already, but you haven't even shown me what your dagger can really do. You let me attack you with something more worthy of such a powerful weapon. He then begins to ready up what seems to be an incredibly strong beam of fire that he's aiming right at me. If I take that head on, I don't think all the magical protection in the world would save me. What should I do? Fly straight at Aiden while he's confident and stab him with a dagger. Fly away from Aiden, try to think of a different plan. Yeah, that's going to definitely lead to death, so we're gonna go with the first one. Fly straight at Aiden while he's overconfident, stab him with my dagger. Aiden is clearly expecting me to avoid this beam at the moment. If he sees me flying straight at him, he'll be shocked that he'll forget to even activate his spell, and then I finally stab him. My plan is perfect. Now is time to put it in action. I fly towards Aiden as fast as my air currents allow me, and with my dagger in both hands pointing straight at him. Shortly before I reach him, Aiden's fire beam activates, covers me in flames completely, but for some reason, yeah, I just guessed as much, it's illusion. For some reason, because he's playing, why would he use something that powerful? It makes no sense. For some reason, they're not burning me at all. I easily continue to fly straight like an arrow towards Aiden. Then I reach him, I stick my dagger in his chest, passing through all his magical protections. What? Aiden shouts as blood is now coming out of his chest. How could you possibly? Where did you find that bracelet? I suddenly realized that the bracelet the wolf gave me. Oh, so it's not an illusion. We used that bracelet thingy. I suddenly realized that the bracelet the wolf gave me this has been shining brightly this whole time. In this reason, why I was able to pass through the flames and pass through Aiden's magical protection so easily. Aiden quickly teleports somewhere to the ground and begins casting a healing spell on his open chest wound. Luckily, my dagger didn't also get teleported with him, so I'm not left without my reliable weapon. Just as Aiden's wound is beginning to close, his head gets surrounded by a sphere of water made by Illuna, which seems to have caught him completely off guard because I can hear him making drowning noises. He attempts to fly around a bit in the hopes that he can shake off the spell, but Illuna's practice with the dishwashing seems to have paid off. Water sphere remains tightly glued to his head. With the corner of my eye, I can see Kate raising a scepter, aiming it at Aiden, ready to attack. Kate, not yet, I shout as she now lowers her scepter after hearing my voice. Aiden may have been caught by surprise a little, but he is by no means defenseless. You can still easily stop Kate's ice beam if you had the time to react. In order to make him not aware of his surroundings at all, we need one final push. Darren now sends his sword spinning rapidly towards Aiden, but the still water raises a large spike made of rock from the ground, thus diverting the weapon's direction. In the meantime, Aiden conjures a small tornado out of thin air. He lets himself get caught inside it on purpose. This proves to be a little too much for Illuna's drowning spell. Its water particles gradually scatter into the air. As Aiden cancels the tornado, he falls to the ground again and then puts his hand on his forehead without doing anything else for a few seconds. His head must be spinning like crazy right now. This is the moment I've been waiting for. It's now or never. One dagger man. Oh, that's funny. That's really funny. One punch man, huh? I waste no time. I cast my dizziness spell on Aiden. It's the same as when I tested the spell on Diam. He should normally be hearing a ringing in his ears right now. The same exact kind of ringing noise that would hear if Wolford's Days has been cast on you. So he would think it's the Wolford Days. He will look at 5 or 3 or whatever it was, different points within the next 5 minutes. Was it 5 seconds? Was it 5 seconds? But he won't cancel out because it's not the Wolford's Days. If Aiden were in calm state of mind, he would have easily noticed that the magical flow of my dizziness spell was slightly different, but with the way he is at the moment, considering that Wolford's Days gives you only a limited time to cancel it before it fully activates, Aiden really only has one choice. He needs to open his eyes. Darren, catch! I shout loudly, while Aiden opens his eyes widely and looks around himself in order to cancel my fake Wolford's Days spell. Hearing the code word that that was the code word. Even I forgot about that. Hearing the code word that we have been practicing endlessly during the past few days, all my friends close their eyes instinctively, and then I close mine as well. But I cast my blinding flash of light. Given that Aiden spends the majority of his time with his eyes closed, I can only imagine how sensitive he must be to sudden bright flashes of light. If my assumption is correct, then a sudden shock like this should overload all his senses, including his magical senses. Kate, I start to say, but now I see that she's already pointing her scepter towards Aiden while readying her spell. I'm on it, Kate says, and then she shoots Aiden with an ice beam even more powerful than the one she showed us yesterday. I guess she's angry. Just as I hope, Aiden doesn't block the spell at all. He gets encased in a large block of ice and able to move an inch. Wow, this has gone so much better than I thought it would. Now there is only one final step. He's probably going to blow this entire area considering how much power he has. Because technically, he can just release his magical, power. Here's the thing that we are not taking into account, that he can literally just, he has the energy inside him, not outside him. So he can just exude it, and that would just blow the entire area to shreds.